So there was a lot of problems. We all know the problems that the DNC has been having with their debate schedule. Debbie Wasserman Schultz, or as Bernie Sanders says, fucking Debbie Wasserman Schultz. So they're in the can for Hillary Clinton. They're the establishment, and they're against the independent, the upstart, the rebel, the populist, the progressive Bernie Sanders. They're against them. The vice chair of the DNC, her name is Tulsi Gabbard, right? She's from Hawaii, and she's a congressperson. And she was the one pushing for more debates because obviously she was supporting Bernie Sanders. She's more of a progressive. Turns out she's also a veteran. She's a veteran, Tulsi Gabbard. And here's why she's supporting Bernie Sanders. And you don't hear this. You don't hear this anywhere else. And that's why I wanted to play it on the show. And here we go.
This had nothing to do with the DNC or DNC politics. This had everything to do with my decision that I could no longer stand on the sidelines as elections are taking place to determine who our potential next commander-in-chief could be. As a soldier and as a veteran, this is incredibly personal and it's incredibly important because I think this is the most important job of a president is to be our commander-in-chief. There's a very clear contrast and clear difference when it comes to our two Democratic candidates and who will exercise good judgment, who will stop us from continuing these interventionist regime change wars that we've seen in Iraq and Libya and now in Syria that have cost our country so much in terms of American lives, trillions and trillions of dollars, what to speak of the hundreds of thousands of lives in the Middle East that have been lost to this and the impact on our economy here at home. Bernie Sanders is that candidate who will not take us, service members and our country, into these interventionist wars. And Hillary Clinton, through her record, has proven that she will continue that. And that's what's important to me, and I think it's important for our voters to know before they go and head to the polls tomorrow and in the coming weeks.
Because we've always said this about, I've said this on the show. Everybody wants to know, what's Bernie's foreign policy? What's the foreign policy? Bernie's foreign policy. You know, Hillary was Secretary of State for. Let me tell you something. Every foreign policy idea that a president has had since FDR has been destructive. So I don't want a president with foreign policy ideas because everything they do screws up everything. What has Barack Obama done? He's bombed 7 different Muslim nations since 9/11. What did George Bush do? Completely destabilize the Middle East with the help of the Democratic Congress. Completely destabilized what's happening, invented ISIS. We invented Al-Qaeda first. We invented ISIS next. We're going to invent something even worse next. I don't want a president to have foreign policy ideas. No matter what their ideas are, they always screw up. So here she is saying he's not going to be that big of an interventionist. He's going to take some of that money and put it back in our economy. You don't hear anybody saying that. You don't hear anyone saying that. Hey, we got to build infrastructure. Do we hear Hillary Clinton saying that? Less war, more infrastructure, more money for teachers, more schools, less prisons. We don't hear any of that stuff. And here we are. We're hearing her say that. God bless America. A veteran stands up and says, hey, maybe we stop spending trillions of dollars on foreign wars and we spend some of that money back here in America. So that's another good reason. The fact that Bernie Sanders doesn't have any foreign policy ideas is a great reason to vote for Bernie Sanders.